awful this government is toward trade unions, and when you start talking about that, you can start talking about other things. So there are good opportunities to intervene in all those kinds of discussions. So I'm going to go straight to the first speaker, who is called Jinsella, and is speaking on behalf of an organisation that she works for called Demilitarise Education.
Yes.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much. I was told 10 minutes as well, so I hope I'm not too long. But I'll be as short as possible.
Say what you've got to say.
Thank you so much for having me as well. And like as you say, as a student, I've never been in a union. I don't have much union experience, and I'm really learning about how they work. So it's really exciting to be here and connecting with you all, because I think it's really important that students coming up understand how they need to be a part of unions and how they work. So anyway, my name is Jinsella. I am the co-founder and executive director of Demilitarise Education, aka Deducation, and we work for we're a community and guide for modern day peacemakers, working to see universities break their ties with the global arms trade. Our organisation exists to make sure the power of higher education is used in favour of peace and not war as we see today. Now, we're all super angry and sad because we're fighting for better jobs. We're fighting for, welfare, not warfare, as we all know. And in our universities, we're seeing that there's over £900 million worth of military partnerships. And this is just not even the depth of the research that there is yet. In this resolution for this conference, it states that investment in arms creates fewer jobs than in other parts of the economy, and this holds true in the university space too. Honestly, it's a next level sick joke that we are welcoming merchants of war into the education space when welfare is such an important need for us right now in all aspects of society. And divesting from the arms trade and reinvesting in sustainable sectors is not just essential for, improving potential job prospects for graduates, but also tackling some of today's most severe issues such as climate change. This is a win-win we cannot afford to miss. So I just want to set the scene a little bit more, and I know you all know about militarism, so bear with me, but the Google definition of it is, militarism is the belief that we should hold a strong military capability and be prepared to use it aggressively to defend our national interests. Now, our government is spending millions of pounds promoting military ethos throughout education. This is, aggressively promoting our national interests. This is not just reinforcing to young people that British militarism actually benefits the world, which we know it doesn't, but it's also teaching young people the practice of aggressively defending their own interests at a time we so desperately need to be thinking as a collective. Our government promotes militarism as a key tool for security, while it is at the same time creating more instability in the world. We need education to teach the truth, and that is that the health of our whole world depends on the health of our global family, not the health of our militaries. We cannot fight climate change with fighter jets. We cannot solve health crises with combat drones, and the research coming out of higher education needs to represent this. Now, I want to quickly ask the room how many people here has an affiliation to a university. So you may have worked here or worked at one or been to a university. Can you raise your hands? So most of us. Ask you again to raise your hand if at that time you knew that by investing in that university, you were also investing in the global war machine. So one person.
Chose one that didn't.
Nice, that's what we're aiming for, that's what we want. Well, I had no idea, honestly, and it was only when I found out that London hosts one of the world's biggest arms fairs every other year that I had my eyes wide open to the levels of corruption in the UK. And that time I first went, they were selling weapons to over 18 of their own human rights watch list countries. Like, the hypocrisy, it's nuts. So I went back to university to raise a bit of awareness about this, and obviously the hole got deeper. And we found out just how much our universities are also partnering with the defence and military sector. So this happens in three main ways: through research collaborations, through academic partnerships, which includes careers funneling, and through monetary partnerships, so shareholdings. Now, I just want everyone to imagine now that you are a Yemeni student and you're super excited to be coming to the UK because we have such an amazing world-class reputation for higher education. But on arriving on campus, you find out that your university is also partnered with BAE Systems. Campaign Against Arms Trade has estimated that BAE Systems has sold over £17 billion worth of weapons to Saudi Arabia since the conflict began. Now, it's one thing to discover that a government is actively supporting and profiting from the total destruction of your country, but it's another to learn that a whole generation of students are being used as pawns for the continuation of these arms exports. Now, this university is set to be your home for the however many years, and you will share this space with peers and staff. Among those peers and staff may be those that are a part of, like at Imperial College, a BAE System-funded project, which has the objective of developing complex autonomous aircraft systems. It's pretty messed up. And yeah, I whoa. Let me get my excited. It's just really like, it's upsetting. So yeah, how would you feel? Perhaps I just gave away how I feel. But probably, like, the end of the war you're so longing for is a lot further away than you think. Now, BAE Systems is not just a climate criminal producing over 400,000 tonnes of carbon emissions annually, but it's also BAE personnel that are out in Saudi Arabia fixing the weapons and the aircraft, which are then dropping bombs on schools, weddings and funerals. Our database at Demilitarise Education has so far uncovered £12 million worth of BAE partnerships within higher education. This is just from the past 5 years, and this is just from 5 universities. Now, Campaign Against Arms Trade are back in court over the next few weeks to appeal the government's decision to continue selling weapons to Saudi Arabia, when in 2019 it was deemed illegal by the High Court due to evidence of breaches of humanitarian law. There is no mistake that the research happening in our universities, being funded by the key arms company facilitating the war in Yemen, is going on to create further insecurity in our world. And for those students coming from war-torn countries, the students that came to university with the hope of bettering their own lives and perhaps the lives of others, will do so knowing that they are also helping to strengthen an industry which exists to supply war. I'm just thankful I am not coming from a war-torn country. I am, however, coming from England's very own Heaven, Devon. Yes.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Don't know if we've got any West Country bumpkins in the house. Yes. Now, in Devon, Babcock International, who build nuclear weapons, are also running numerous educational services. So a company that makes weapons of mass destruction are shaping the educational experiences of our youngsters. I cannot stress enough how upsetting it is from primary all the way through to university. The lies that are being told that war is normal and militarism is actually a good thing.
You're coming up to 10 minutes.
Okay, I'm close. Education has the power to transform society, and this power should be used in favour of peace, not war. Just skip that bit. This is why at Demilitarise Education, and we have our database manager in the house, we have created the world's first university and arms database. It demonstrates, and at the moment it's at £900 million, and again, we have barely scratched the surface yet. It demonstrates how much money could be going towards saving the world, which is currently going towards building up the military-industrial complex. We are at the exciting stage where we're teaching young people and beyond how to research their university's involvement in the global arms trade and independently upload it to our database. Now, this database is not just like a seriously important place where we can actually track university partnerships, the arms trade, but it's also providing a space where to tackle the issue of student handover with campaigns at universities, because demilitarisation campaigns have been happening for decades, but they often lose momentum and students have to start again. Now, because thanks to our database, we have a place to track all the progress students have been making and for the national movement to come together and learn and grow. We have also written, Melina, she might be coming later, wrote the Demilitarise Education Treaty, which this database supports. And by September this year, we will have research on every university in the country, and we'll be using that data to leverage treaty signatures. We want to set a global precedent where it is unacceptable for universities to be partnering with the military and defence sector. So yes, trade unions, please support this. It's so important for the unions to help us reach university decision makers, and also, as I said at the start, to show students that they are not alone in their peacemaking, in their hope for peace building. We are a community of over 40 peacemakers. Okay, well, I'll skip that bit as well. We have a lot of public support. We have a petition that's live right now, which I'd love you all to support. There's been stickers going around. Scan it, click the petition. We really need to build this evidence of public support so to get those treaty signatures. Now, rounding up. What is war? What is education for if for war? Students need places where they can learn free from the manipulation of arms companies, and society desperately needs places where discoveries and research can build towards a better world. I want a world where universities champion peace, not war, and I hope you'll join us in this vision. Thank you.
Really interesting. I'm sure there'll be some comments or questions, hopefully from any UCU people.